Something you may want to do on occasion is to host an ad hoc meeting or an ad hoc class. You can do this by opening the Zoom client on your desktop and choosing the New Meeting button here. Now, one thing to note is on this little drop-down tab, you can start with video or not. So in this particular case, I'm going to start without video. So as you can see, a meeting has automatically started here, and now I can go about adding participants. So the first thing we're going to do to add participants is click on the Participants button in the center here. This opens up a panel on the right hand side. I can see myself listed here as the host, and as participants join the meeting, I will see them appear here in a list format. What I want to do now is click on the Invite button down here. And at this point, I can invite participants in a number of different ways. Link or copy invitation, or alternatively, I can click on the email option here, and I can choose Outlook or Gmail or Yahoo to send the invitation. You may have told students to expect a link to the meeting maybe 10 minutes before the scheduled class time, and this is how you go about doing an ad hoc meeting in Zoom. There are additional options in the participants panel that are worth noting at this time. So if we look over here, as a student attempts to join the meeting, if you have the waiting room feature enabled, you will see the student's name appear in the participants list, and you can at this point decide to admit or remove the student. Some other options in the panel here that are worth noting is the Mute All button found on the bottom here. If you click on this, you can mute all current and new participants, and there's an option here as well to allow participants to unmute themselves, or you can turn that off. So you could be in full control of whether students in the class can mute or unmute their microphones at any particular time. So another option here, if we have a look at the More button, you can select a number of options. You can ask all to unmute at once. You can mute participants upon entry. You can allow participants to unmute themselves, play sound when someone joins or leaves. You also have options here to enable waiting room or lock the meeting. So that closes the meeting off to further participants. So as a student tries to connect, so for example here, I've tried to connect through a different Zoom account. You can admit that student and they will get a notification and automatically join the meeting. Some other small things worth noting here is I can see the audio icon next to my name. I can see a video icon next to my name. I can see that the video is crossed out, which means my video currently is inactive, but my audio is active. And I can see the same icons for every student that connects. And I can have a number of options here. I can ask a student to start their video if they haven't started it. I can also turn their audio on or off from this point as well. So these are some of the basic settings in terms of starting an ad hoc meeting, adding participants, and managing participants as they connect to your Zoom meeting or classroom. Another option here is to disable the waiting room, in which case students will automatically join a meeting. So to disable the waiting room, you can go down here to the bottom of this panel, and you can scroll down and disable the waiting room. So now, when a student tries to access the meeting, you will get a notification and the student has automatically joined the meeting.